Just that now, because it's within the boundary that is not as big as Nigeria, the frequency of collapse can be managed, can be reduced, or we can prevent it from collapsing because now we are on top of what is happening. We know our Gencos, we know who our transmission companies are, we know who our discos are. And because of that, because it comes in closer, it's a more moderate grid, than the bigger one. And for your information, what's a grid? A grid is transmission from generation. Like, let me give you an example.
Okay.
When you start your generator in your house,
Yeah.
that's a Genco. That's the example with Genco. Your generator is generating energy.
Okay.
That's the example with Genco. So your grid starts from that generation of your starting of your generator. The wire that connects the generator into your house is taken to be the transmission line. When the light eventually enters into your house, until you put on a bulb in your house, that is what makes up a grid in
Okay.
electricity terminology. So the grid system now within the state becomes smaller, more manageable. Then also we have more people coming in. We have more power that is localized. Now, Lagos State can decide to say they want to take power from the national grid.
Okay.
This is the amount we want to take from national grid. They will equally have a lot of private generators, Gencos rather, that also come in. They will have renewable energy suppliers to coming in to say we want to supply. People can bring in a gas turbine, for instance, bring a gas turbine, connect to gas, and start generating electricity for Lagos. So it's just that there will be a willing, like I said, a willing buyer and a willing seller. There is demand, there is supply. Lagos State is now controlling and regulating how this happens. So the frequency of collapse, of grid collapse, will be minimized. It might not be totally eradicated because it's a technical thing. It cannot fault, but it will be minimized. Then it can be quickly, restored. And
Okay.
also, they can give announcement that, okay, private announcement that this is going to happen, just like it happens in advanced countries, that this is going to happen. We might have system maintenance and this will happen within the area and this time and this time. All these will now be controlled because it is now under, a relatively smaller, geographical location, and the grid is something that is manageable by a particular entity. So
Okay.
collapse can occur, but it's not going to be at the level we are seeing now with the national grid.
For the national grid. Okay, now you've talked extensively about the benefits. What are some challenges you see with implementing this electricity bill, and how long is it going to be until Lagosians begin to feel the benefits of this? How long will it take for the setup now that it's been signed into law? When are we going to see the results of it?
Thank you. There is going to be a transition period, no doubt about that. When something new comes in, just like, sorry, a deviation a bit, the tax law people are shouting about, the tax law if passed into law today does not mean they're going to start instantly. There'll be a transition period. These are things people don't seem to understand about that. So regarding this law, there'll be a transition period. There'll be a period when the discos existing in Lagos, pre-existing discos now licensed, licensees in Lagos, Ikeja Disco, Eco Disco, and Eco Distribution Electricity Company, etc., and several other, what do you call it, a generation or energy participant in Lagos. We need to sit down and integrate, study the law, look at how they are going to come in. The agency will start doing licensing for people that want to come in. So it's going to be a gradual thing. But I can assure you that Lagos residents will get the benefit of it. I can assure you of that.
Is it going to
Because even
span
as
on to
now,
like 10 years? Is it something that would be so complex that it will take another decade to...
so that will take another decade. And what I'm about to say will explain that. As we have it now, there are some estates in Lagos that are not on national grid. They don't take their energy supply from Eco Disco or what do you call it, Ikeja Disco. They have their own private grid. There are those ones. I know one or two of them like that. I don't want to mention, so
Is that legal? Is that legal?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I know in Ogun State, around Kwakwalanto area like that, we have some other private organizations that are doing this. People are contacting them and they're taking power from them. In Mowe, We have like that. So all these one now will now need to go under the existing law, meet the agency, get licensed, then start regulation. So it's just something that will take decades, like I just said. It could be months. Some are already,
Okay. Yeah.
operating, but they just need to go and regularize their license and continue with their job the way they are doing now.
So
Regarding
for the sake of
challenges,
time, yes. Okay, challenges. Just go on.
yeah, you see, commercially, let me say that commercially, in terms of the rate people will need to pay, might be different. It might cost a bit more. I'm talking from the consumer end of it now.
I was even
It
going
might
to
cost a
ask
bit
you,
more.
yes, because I was going to ask you that part of the common concern with Nigerians now is the Band A situation, the electricity tariff. So I was going to ask that, is this going to help stop a lot of the alleged exploitative practice with the distribution companies? Is this going to check some of the activities, hampering or trampling on consumer rights?
It's not my habit to follow street concerns or comments when I'm making my comment, but I'm going to align with
No,
you
but
using.
this is an important part of it.
Yes, I will need to align with you that the present system is exploitative. I have said it everywhere that this band, whatever they said, is exploitative, is a fraud. But then it's not new. In Nigerian system, that's what we do. When we cannot afford to provide for everybody, we do this classification and segmentation. That's why we have GRA, government reserve area. Which area should be reserved by government? Which area shouldn't have good road, good light, good water? But that's what government will do. They will suddenly come up with secondary schools and say these are special schools, and these are government clinical schools. They give it one name because they cannot provide for everybody. The same thing that's happening in the electricity industry. That's why I call it a fraud. And a fraud because they want to make more money and they want to share the little they have to people. That's why they are doing what they are doing. But it's under this system. I am not expecting that we are going to see band A, band B, band C.
Okay.
Like I said, be a willing buyer and a willing seller. But why am I saying it might cost a bit more? You see, it's expensive to generate electricity at the initial stage, but later on, it's going to normalize. It's going to graduate in a way that when everybody starts enjoying, there will be competition. But initially, it might be expensive. But just like when MTN came or telecoms came, we had issues with how people are being charged. But suddenly, when we had more, more telecom operators coming in, more platforms, we saw what happened. Suddenly, the prices of the same thing is going to happen in this industry. At the initial stage, it might come a bit expensive, but when we have competition and people cannot change from one company to the other, you realize
that was an argument when NEPA was going to be privatized. A lot of people said, there was going to be the competition and then we'd see improved electricity. You don't think the same challenges NEPA had transitioning to, like you mentioned, the privatization is not going to play out on the state level?
Price for it to be competitive. I'll give an example.
Go on.
I'll give an example. For instance, people living in Ogun, Oyo, etc., they have just one supplier, one disco, and that's Ibadan Disco. How is that competitive? It's not competitive.
Well,
people living in Lagos, either for island is a co-distribution. For people in the mainland, it's a distribution. How is that competitive? They don't have any other choice. Now people have competition. They have option. There is a choice. This is what this is going to bring up. There will be choice, and people can say, look, I am no longer collecting my power from your company. I am changed to so and so company. These are the things that will be coming up. And that's why I say it's an exciting future for consumers in Nigeria. And like I said, initially it might be a bit expensive. But with time, as time goes on, it's going to come down because technology is really assisting us and people have choice, more choice. And that's the way it's going to go. It's going to come down, but not immediately.
Not immediately. Okay, so let's wrap it up with how you think the Lagos state government can ensure that the implementation of the law is socially and environmentally sustainable.
Fantastic. Anybody that reads the law will see that Lagos have done a lot of job to ensure that the bill does not create any confusion. Almost every term that you need to know in that bill has been defined. and powers have equally been well explained. The commission knows its bounds and its powers.
Mm.
The consumers knows their bounds and their rights. It's stated in the bill. Is that what?
No, please go on.
Yes, I said the consumers know what their rights are. The sellers who operate in the market, everybody in the market, all participants in the electricity market in Lagos knows their bounds, powers, and rights. Then the power of the court is equally stated. How to resolve issues is equally stated. So I see the bill, sustaining, very sustainable. It's a legal framework that captures almost everything that needs to be captured. So, and Lagos State have done in a way that they are the agencies created, the entities created are independent of government. For instance, the ministry has a role. Is stated in that bill. The government themselves have a role, and they have their limitations, how they can interfere in what is happening. So I think with all those all those things properly defined within the law of Lagos State and under this bill, I am seeing that it's going to be very sustainable into the future, environmental and social. And equally, they took cognizance of environmental issues. This Conference of Parties 29 that is happening, a lot of you being raised about environmental degradation. These are captured in it. The renewable energies, what they need to do, those that are going to do distillation, those that are going to do the gas turbine, every role of every participant is stated regarding the environment and what do you call it, the people that are going to operate in the market. So it's an excellent bill. I've seen a lot of bills, but this is beautiful.
All right, that's good. You're optimistic. Well, that's a good one. At least you're also a consumer. You're not, you're also part of it.
At the end of the day, you're right.
All right, Ostas, thank you so much for your time on Spotlight this morning. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, Kimberly. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, definitely. If you want to contribute to the conversation, the phone line is always open right here on Spotlight, 0805 092 0927, 0805 092 0927, or 0705 890 4927. You can alternatively send a WhatsApp message to 0705 690 0927. Or you can go to our Facebook page, Super FM 92.7. Yes, that's our identity on all platforms. You can watch me live on YouTube right now. Stay with me on Spotlight.
It's 92.7 and you're listening to Spotlight. Food.
So good and tasty.
Yummy.
Good food should consist a healthy, balanced diet. Whether you're ordering online, snacking at the pastry shop, or making it at home, what's your choice of beverage for a meal? Is it milk, soya, chocolate, cola, orange, blackcurrant, strawberries, good old water? Whatever you choose, remember to eat healthy and within the right proportion. This message on food and beverage is from Super FM 92.7. Your one family, one radio station.
All right, still spotlights on Super FM, and I haven't gone anywhere just yet. We're still focusing on happenings in Lagos. This time, the recent denial by the government of plans to ban sachet water, also known as pure water, that looks contradictory or is seemingly contradictory to earlier reports. Earlier we got reports some months ago, the government announcing plans to ban single-use plastics, including sachet water, from next month. That's January 2025. It says it is part of efforts to promote sustainable plastic waste management. And now it would seem like there's a reversal, because over last weekend, a lot of people on the island could not access pure water. It was terrible, and a lot of people have to use it to cook, to shower, even because of the state of water in homes on the island, usually mostly brown or almost black. So now questions about the government's commitment to addressing environmental concerns are raised. It's possible that the government may have considered the ban due to concerns of from stakeholders. Video surfaced of some men that NAFDAC even has come out to disown that they don't know who the men are. And the Lagos government, through the Environment Commissioner, also said they don't know who the guys are that were busting pure water off some manufacturers. And then findings, I tried to investigate for them. Findings revealed that some manufacturers are actually hoarding this. When they hear of the ban, it's like, okay, you know what, we're going to hoard it so that we'll increase the price. Because as of last weekend, I heard some people in Lekki and some other parts were buying the bag of pure water for 1,500 naira. So we're having this conversation now because we want to understand what it is all about. The move by the government to, when you talk about the single-use plastics on Lagos environment, you're talking about the ban. We have a sustainability lecturer at the University of the West of Scotland, Dr. Inyene Nkata, PhD. I've told her that her name sounds very East African. But then, I don't know. Well, it's just a very cute name. But then that's it. So she's going to be doing justice to all of this, bring us up to speed. Like I said, sadly, some manufacturers are already hoarding pure water and hiking up the price according to, some findings. And that's pretty sad. But now the focus is on what we are to expect come January 2025. All right. Good morning to you.
Can I come in now? Because I could...
Yes, so good morning to you. We can hear you.
Could barely hear you, but at least I heard a bit.
Okay. All right. So good morning. Welcome. You're on air now.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all our listeners who have tuned in from over the globe. I presume they have tuned in from all over the globe.
All right then.
Thank you.
So yeah,
thank you, Super.
Yeah, you spoke up about this. You wrote an article as regards the sachet water ban. And so we've been getting reports back and forth. First of all, reports surface of the government talking about banning sachet water. Am I still audible enough on your end?
Sorry?
You can hear me still, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a bit faint.
So I'm trying to strain my ears. Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I said reports, contradictory reports now, because we don't know what to expect come January, which is just about 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now. We're counting down. And, the government came out clearly talking about banning plastics and sachet. Yeah. So there were questions about the alternative because that's like the lower middle class option when it comes to access to clean water. If you want to have access to clean water, everyone in Lagos goes for pure water. Even the bottled water, table water now is expensive. Everything is now expensive. So we just want clarity on this. What it means, the single-use plastic, what you can make of the pronouncement by the Lagos state government, your understanding of it.
Okay, thank you, Super 92.7 FM. I think that's it. Yes. It's a pleasure to be here today and to talk about something that affects all of us. I'm not just going to talk about the ban. I'm going to talk about how this affects us economically and the reality of it. So the impact of the single-use plastic, particularly sachet water, on Lagos environment, we know it as pure water. Has become a very vital source of drinking water for millions of Lagosians, and that's what you've just highlighted. So Lagos, as we know, is a city of over 20 million people, very vibrant city in terms of commerce, culture, innovation, and with rapid growth of such a city also comes challenges. And one of the most pressing is the environmental and societal toll of the single-use plastic. So the widespread use of sachet water has created serious environmental challenge that cannot be ignored. And that's why we are hearing that the government want to ban this, because of the challenge that the single or sachet water, because my focus is really on the sachet water. But let's look at some of the economics reality of sachet water and single-use plastic. Let's begin with the economic side. Sachet water is popular in Lagos because one, it is affordable. And you have said it, that even the bottled water are kind of expensive. Not everyone will be able to afford that. So sachet water, pure water, it is very affordable. And also, it is very accessible. You just go on the road, somebody's selling it, there's children are hawking it on the street. You buy like a pack of it, keep in the house. So for many families, it is often the only option for clean drinking water. And apart from the fact that we drink it, it is accessible, it is affordable, it also creates jobs. There are people who are manufacturing it. There are people who are distributing it. There are vendors, the little children, the people who are hawking on the street, who depend on sachet water industry for their livelihood. However, this convenience comes with some hidden costs. So the waste management cost, Lagos generates over 60 million. And please take note of that number. 60 million discarded sachet daily. And I mean daily, which contribute to 13,000 tons of waste that is produced in the city. Managing this plastic waste is overwhelming for LASMA. I think that's how they pronounce it. Lawman. It's the Lagos Waste Management Authority, which costs them millions of naira each year. And another thing is the flood damage. Sachet water plastic clogs the drainage system, and it leads to devastating floods during the raining season. I remember when I was in Lagos, I visited Nigeria. I was in Lagos, I think 2 or 3 years. The flood in Lagos. And one of the reasons for that is that this sachet water, this sachet plastic, it actually clogs the drainage and then leads to devastating flood during the raining season. The cost of repairing some of the damage of the infrastructure this flood does, or even assisting victims, runs into millions yearly.
So now,
and there is also a missed opportunity, which is something that Lagos State should leverage on. Plastic waste is now valued when it's recycled. We don't even see anything as waste these days. Anything waste is valued. But Lagos lacks the adequate system. The good thing is that Lagos State is proactive, and I like what they are doing. Some part, not all.
But now let me come in there. Let me come in there, Inyeme. Yes, please. Just let me interject. So now, the thing is, you've talked about the fact that the city, lots of waste coming out. But whose responsibility is it to provide water? I remember growing up, there was a water board where, it's connected to homes. Okay, all right then. So, just go on.
Yeah, I'll get to that. So I was talking about the missed opportunity. Let me just round up with the missed opportunity. So investing in recycling would create thousands of jobs and generate income. Then we also look at the tourism losses. Lagos has beautiful beaches and waterways. But guess what? The plastic pollution makes the places less appealing to tourists and reduces the income that could be generated in the economy. I made a post on about this ban. And when I made the post, I know someone commented on my IG and said that if I go to the beaches, that I will be encouraging the Lagos State government to ban this. I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying, because if I go to the beach, the way pure water is littered and all that around the place. So I understand that those beaches and waterways has been polluted and has made tourism kind of less attractive to people. But let's also look at social reality. And I'm coming to that water that you are talking about, who is responsible to provide. But let's at least have an idea of some of this economic and social reality. The social impact is also alarming. The health risk. Discarded sachet trapped water becomes a breeding ground for mosquitoes. And this contributes to disease like malaria, which remains a leading cause of illness in Lagos. Additionally, the burning of the plastic to manage waste releases harmful toxins and could lead to some respiratory illnesses. And there is also environmental equality, which is the sad part for me, because the impact of this plastic pollution is felt mostly in poorer communities. These are areas that often lack proper waste disposal services before even landman will even go there to go and pick some of this waste and all. So there's that inequality of environmental inequality for people who live in deprived communities. Then access to water.
All right.
Let's look at, I think this is what you were asking me. While sachet water provides a vital service, it also highlights the gap in access to safe pipe-borne water. And this is where the government, the Lagos State government, comes in. If Lagos had a reliable public water system, you go to the house, you turn up your tap, you can fetch water and drink. You are in a public space, you see where tap is, you turn up the tap. And I remember when I was a child, I grew up in Uyo. we had tap water, so you can just go outside, turn up your tap, there is water out, you can go anywhere. Hospital, it was available in the public. This is where the Lagos state government should come in, rather than them just focusing on banning. They have to make accessible water to the general public. Because if Lagos has a reliable public water system, the dependence on sachet water
will reduce,
and the waste that comes with it would significantly reduce. So if sachet water and single water plastic were banned, let's look at some of this. There's a growing debate, and that's where the focus of today's live is with 92.7 FM, I believe so, Super FM. Is that there is a growing debate. I think you wanted to say something.
No, I said go on. You were talking about the debates,
Yeah, there's a growing debate about the single-use plastic in Lagos. 2 months ago, I stand to be corrected, but I think it was 2 months ago when the Lagos state government wrote that they were going to ban. I think I am, because I'm on social media these days, so I think I saw it in one of the bloggers. I can't remember which of the Nigerian blogger. And immediately I saw it, I was meant to publish something, another topic entirely, but I told the person, I said, don't publish that. There's something that is interesting that I should write about. And I woke up about 4 a.m. to start putting that down. When I advocate for the environment. I do. I'm a secular economy lecturer. I'm there for sustainability and all. But I also did not feel that it was right for the Lagos state government to just wake up and say they were banning something in less.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh boy. Okay, so I'll try to reconnect with you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was hearing a connecting sound.
Okay.
So there's been that debate, and when the article was published on this day paper, for some reason, I think maybe the Lagos state government got hold of the article and they came to do some form of damage control. No, we're not banning it. We're not banning it, because I saw that, I have it with me, that they are not banning it. They didn't say that pure water and single plastic use water were among the things they were banning. I don't know why they said that, because they actually did say that they were going to ban it.
Now let me come in there. So what do you make of the recent statement by the government? What are we to expect by January 2025?
And the fact that they had come out to say, no, we are not banning, and then there's been this uncertainty. I've seen it on social media, people saying that, oh, pure water is now so expensive. Some people say we can't even see it to buy. And there is a video that speculated, and I believe you've seen the video, when somebody was actually puncturing sachet water in a truck or a van. And the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources came to debunk that it wasn't it wasn't from their ministry or from their agency, but it was rather NAFDAC that were trying to do their job. The people did not maybe produce or follow the procedure of NAFDAC and all that. So I'm just going to answer that. While this might seem like an ideal solution, so Lagos state government thinking that, yes, ban is causing too much environmental impact, they must also consider the realities. They must consider the reality. So the idea of banning sachet water plastic comes up as a solution. Yes. But like I already mentioned, we need to weigh the pros and the cons. And that is the Lagos state government. Let me first of all look at some of the positive impact. Then we go to some of the challenges.
Before you go on, I still want to get clarity on what we are to expect, because I heard we saw PEP bottles. They tried to clarify the statement. They said it's not exactly about the pure water ban, but that it's about PEP bottles or something like that. I don't know if you saw the recent statement that the follow-up by the Environment Commissioner. I think they shared some secular talked about it, but if you're not up to date with that, that's fine. But
no, I don't think I'm up to date with that. I think what I had was the one they debunked, that sachet water was not included in what they are banning.
Yeah, they said
that's the one that I have.
Yeah, so the statement carried that they're still going to go on with certain programs around waste management in January, but then they're leaving out the sachet water.
We do not. I don't have an evidence to say yes, they are going ahead with the January ban because they had come to say, no, this was not inclusive. However, there has been unrest, uncertainty in Lagos to get buy pure water. And we don't know if it is the manufacturer who are leveraging on that information to hike the price or the vendors themselves, because unfortunately, we know how we are in Nigeria. Sometimes when things like this happen, we take advantage of it. I do not know, so I cannot speak about that to say, oh, yes, the Lagos state government is still going ahead to ban it. That's why we are not able to buy water. I don't know that, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I'm just going to talk about what are some of the challenges if they eventually banned pure water in Lagos state.
Okay.
That's what I can talk about, yes. So the truth is that there's a positive impact of that ban, but there's also negative. And you remember I said we need to look at the reality. We need to think about it's not just about banning. What are the realities? We need to weigh. There need to be a balance. Yes, if you go ahead to ban sachet water, what happens is that it reduces plastic pollution and flooding risks, which I've mentioned. There's cleaner streets, the waterways are cleaner, it improves the cities, the way the city looks, the environmental health in total. However, these are some of the challenges that the Lagos state government must take into consideration. Affordability and accessibility. Sachet water is the primary drinking water source for millions of people in Lagos state. You go to Lekki now, I see it on videos. Like I said, I'm on social media these days, so I get to see some of these things. You see people turning even the pipeboard water, they open their tap and the water is literally brown.
Well, I'm telling you.
Who drink that kind of water?
I'm here
so
and I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So I said I'm here and I'm telling you that's the case. You don't even have to see it on social media. That's the situation.
Exactly. They turn up the water is completely brown. So these people resort to using pure water to cook, to have their bath. So those are people in even the highbrows area, which is Lekki. Let's come back to even people who are not in all those highbrow area. Pure water is the primary drinking water source of millions. Even me, I dey drink pure water.
For UK, you are drinking pure water. Do they sell pure water in the UK?
You grab the thing and you just
wait. Do they sell pure
now.
water in the UK? How do you see the pure water to drink? Do they sell pure water in the UK? How do you get it to drink?
I say when I come to Nigeria, I drink pure water.
Okay.
I do say in the UK.
How is that thinking that they're smuggling pure water? Okay, so
that's
now
what I said. But a ban without alternative would worsen the water crisis. Think about let's be very real. Think about I think it's from February, March, April, Nigeria is always very hot. Because I remember one time I wanted to come and my mom was like, no, don't come. It's very hot this time. And the humidity in Lagos is high. And then there's no water, pure water for people to just grab. People will just be by everywhere. Now let me use that word because people will be dehydrated.
Yes, but we're on the clock now. So let me ask you, how do you think the government can now balance the need to... Yeah, no, just hold on. Okay, no. Okay.
I'm coming to that. I won't take time because even me, I have to rush and drop my daughter in school.
Okay.
So I've just mentioned the affordability and accessibility because I want the public to really understand this. I want the public to understand the pros and the cons, the balancing of it, not just talking against the government, but also looking at what they are trying to do. So there is also the economic disruption. Thousands of people rely on sachet water for their livelihood. I've talked about those little children who hawk on the street of Lagos. Yeah. I made a post and somebody said, children don't have any real business to be hawking on the street. You should be standing for this ban. And I'm like, that's a sad reality in Nigeria that children hawk on the street. But that's not the debate here. The debate is now that if this water is being banned, if pure water is being banned, and that child who sells on the street of Lagos is the feeding that what they are going to eat that evening, the family, his siblings, her sibling is dependent on the profit that they make, and you then ban without alternative.
So
what are you doing? You are taking food from people's mouth. So
That's even a problem because child labor is even a human right violation. We shouldn't even have children walking on the street. So that's even an underlying
Well,
issue that the
well,
government
that
should
is that
look
is not that is
into
not the focus of our
beyond.
discussion today.
Yes.
That's the sad
Okay,
reality
but
of
we, we,
Nigeria.
we
So
have.
next time you can invite me for us to talk
Yeah.
about that one.
Okay, but
Although
we
it's
have
really
2
not
minutes.
my area.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes now on the clock. But how do you think the environmental concerns can be balanced with the economic realities
Okay,
of the ban?
so a ban could lead to a widespread of jobs, which is what I've said, consumers. Then also, the Lagos state government have forgotten that if they ban, or they have not taken, not forgotten, let me try to use the right word. If they don't take into consideration balancing this, ensuring compliance with this ban as a city that is large like Lagos could be a big challenge without what you do with it.
Exactly.
Instead of focusing
yeah.
on banning, on just solely banning, the government should take a more comprehensive approach to this. Number one, they should improve the waste collection system. So the Lagos Waste Management System Authority need more resources to collect plastic waste efficiently, where they can expand this waste collection coverage in underserved community should be their priority. Remember, I said I am more into this underserved communities because they are the ones who are impacted the most. So that is the first thing. Rather than you just saying, hey, let's ban, this is costing, improve the waste collection system. That should be the number one thing. Invest in recycling infrastructure. So Lagos has a growing informal recycling sector, such as individual, group, or small business that collect the same. I don't know how it is done in Lagos, but in Abuja, because I'm based in Abuja, when I go, I just visit Lagos. And I know my mom-in-law is in Lagos, so I visit. Okay. So I don't know how it's done. Do you have those? I think in the north they call them, is it Bambalo or something? People who, those Hausa people who go to pick
yes,
waste.
they are
Do you
Lagos.
have them in Lagos?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, they're in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the government should do is that it shouldn't just be about the growing informal recycling sector, because you get to see a lot of them. I've seen recently one lady who picks plastic, but I think in Port Harcourt she just went viral or something. Those are informal sectors. That shouldn't be left for informal sector. There should be a formal support from government, which recycling facility must be scaled up to process the massive amount of waste that is generated daily in Lagos State. Then incentives should be given to companies investing in recycling. And apart from that too, I'm going to go into that. I'm going to elaborate on that incentive. There should also be a public-private partnership. So the government should collaborate with private companies to establish a buyback program where you can buy some of this, what do they call it, the plastic bottles, where citizens are paid to return use sachet recycling. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
The truth is that if you tell people, bring all the sachet water that you are drinking, do you know that even children on the street, even adults, will start picking sachet water from the ground? They will start doing it. So these are the things that government should look at. Then also create, so that I can round up in 5 minutes now. Create an awareness campaign.
Okay. You know what? I should have created more time for this conversation, because clearly it's a very broad one, but we're on the clock now and we have to actually wrap this up. Not in 1 minute. But the thing is, I've enjoyed. Yes, yeah.
Most important one, which is what you had highlighted, is provide access to clean and drinkable pipe-borne water.
Yeah.
Create awareness. And we citizens, me and you too, it's not just about the government. Me and you have a part to play. Let's begin to use alternative reusable water. Carry your cup if you can and pour this water into. Make sure that you dispose waste at source, or pick waste at source. So that's my conclusion. We have a part to play.
Yeah.
Let's not just say government. We citizens, we also have a part to play. And I believe that in this discussion, it would inspire all of us to take action for a cleaner Lagos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Inyene Nkanta. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so that's it. Situation happening, matters arising in Lagos State. That's how we'll wrap up the season. We'll go to season 30 next week. I don't know what season we're on Spotlight, but then the program will be back on air on Monday. And thank you for staying with me on today's edition. Big thanks to our guests. Earlier on, we had the power expert, Ostaz, and then Ian on the line. So that's it. Monday, we shall talk again. I am Kimberly. And we don't know what's coming in January, but then we hope to get more clarity on this because water is very essential, as essential as food and shelter. I mean, who can live without water? So let's see how it pans out, all right? Enjoy your weekend. Much love from all of us at Super FM.